Hey, I'm Levi Polzin at Levi1 on Instagram, and today this is just going to be a time lapse of how I created this new print that I'm going to have available soon. I didn't do an overtop one because it took me a couple days, but it's just a file from Procreate. It's a couple minutes long, and I hope you enjoy. All right, let's get into it. So here I'm just starting out kind of putting together the shapes, the general kind of flow and nature of what I'm kind of wanting to do. I usually work in a lighter pencil, as you can usually see. Tends to just kind of, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't seem as final to me. Maybe it's because I worked in red and blue pencil, drawing my tattoos on actual paper back in the day. But this always seems to be kind of what I use for my preliminary drawing and whatnot. Still kind of roughing out a bunch of the shapes and getting in stuff, kind of dimension, just seeing if any of this works. I mean, initially when I was just drawing this, it was more kind of for fun, and I wasn't even planning on going past like the red pencil sketch. But once I got that in place, I kind of was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I could maybe make a print out of this and something. But I really kind of amped up the detail with this one. And I pulled from a lot of my comic book influence. I don't know if anyone is familiar with Jeff Darrow or Mobius. Mobius maybe a little bit more people, but Jeff Darrow did a bunch of really cool comics in the 90s and early 2000s. Shaolin Cowboy, Big Guy and Little Rusty, and a couple other ones or Hard Boiled with Frank Miller. And the kind of that really like fine European, sketchy, overly detailed nature just like totally impacted my young teenage brain as a kid, and I just thought it was so cool. And I've been watching a lot of stuff on comic books lately, and it's still one of my greatest inspirations. And so in some way I was trying to convey some of those sensibilities of that 70s through early 90s European comic book art into this this print I was going to make. I think some of it comes through. I mean, obviously if I don't say that, you don't know that that's what I'm trying to do, so I'm kind of just putting that out here. But yeah, so I was really trying to create a lot of things like with that kind of feel and vibe. I cut a bunch of section on the upper side because I just wanted that to have a little bit more of a curvature to it. It was feeling a little bit too much of a 90-degree angle. And that's why I also threw in that lower arm. I feel like that really brought in the Fibonacci spiral that I like to talk about a lot, that a lot of good designs tend to utilize. If you follow kind of the start of the spiral from the bottom claw and follow it up its arm, around the body, and then it'll kind of bring you right into the eyes of the dragon. And I kind of really wanted to utilize that. Once we're getting in color, I really wanted kind of a more subtle color palette for the dragon. Really wanted to utilize kind of some of that early print stuff that you see in a lot of Kano school, and maybe like some of the yellowing in the paper and whatnot, but it almost has like a tea-stained feel to it. So I wanted less of a colorful dragon and more of that kind of just like almost tea-stained paper look for the dragon, or just like a really weird kind of meaty texture to it. Yeah, so I kind of went with this weird off dusty pink for it, but then try to counterbalance that with like really with a rhythm of the red in the ear, mouth, eyes, the flames on the arms, and then the yellow in the eyes, claws, and horns, to really like just kind of bring a rhythm to everything. I just used a bunch of different grain shaders. I love using that True Grit texture supply company. They make some of the coolest, most nuanced brushes that just I just feel like I can really get a lot of like very intricate and nuanced kind of feel to my prints that, and so they feel less like airbrushy, which I feel like a lot of stuff can have that look and feel, and I just don't really like that. I like to have stuff have real emotion to it, and I like creating layers, and then I'll use those same, oftentimes the same brush that I'm using to create, like say that smoke that I just did, and I'll put that into an eraser brush and utilize that same brush or a different one or multiple ones, and then back it up. So I'll like kind of overlay a bunch of stuff, and then I'll kind of back it up a little bit with the same brush, but uses an eraser, and that just gives a similar texture and feel to things. So yeah, thanks for watching.